Chris Windsor from 5-Year Plan previewing tomorrow's game against Spurs. Palace coming to the game with a mixed bag of form really. Defeat last time out against Everton where defensive mistakes and a kind of the shoestring lineup cost them in a 3-1 defeat. But before that, picking up points against West Ham, Burnley and Newcastle. So they're not on a poor run of form, only losing twice since the turn of the year in the league against Arsenal and Everton as mentioned, but Palace are decimated by injuries at the moment. They can put out a starting 11 and have a substitute and cover every single position for the amount of injuries we've got, and a lot of those are good first team players like Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Wilfried Zaha. Looking in midfield, Cabaye being out, along the back, Dan and Sake. So tomorrow, anticipating quite an inexperienced lineup. Probably looking at bringing in new signing Sorloth to play left wing, where he played quite well against Everton away. Relying heavily on Benteke up front, who's been misfiring all season, and then trying to plug the gaps with what players we've got left really. The issue going forward for Palace to try and stay up this season is that the starting 11 is actually probably a top 10 starting 11 if they're all fit and firing. You know, Zaha has the ability to tear any defence apart. Benteke on his day is a complete handful for any defence. You look at the back four, if they were fully fit, the likes of Mamasako is an international. You've got in midfield Cabaye, who was pulling strings for PSG and Newcastle when they last reached Europe. It's a matter of whether we can get that team together again this season in order to give ourselves the best opportunity to stay up. There are still winnable games to come. Unfortunately, with the next 3 against yourselves, then United and Chelsea are kind of a little mini horror patch where actually if we can come out relatively unscathed, goal difference doesn't take too much of a hammering, and hopefully pick up a lucky point or 3 as and when, that would be ideal. Rumours rife again about Wilf going to Spurs, probably fueled by his agent again. Obviously signed a contract in the summer, but we saw that actually those rumours started coming around at the transfer window, and the performance of Wilf kind of dropped off during that period, coupled with the fact that he was playing with a knee injury that is kind of sidelining for tomorrow's game. If he went to you, would he improve your attacking options? Most definitely. I think he's one of the most exciting players in the Premier League. Having watched him develop from a young boy with a lot of raw potential, I wouldn't say he's the finished article yet, but he's got a whole lot in his arsenal. He'll provide your team with a lot of width. Something, having watched a limited amount of Spurs, but when I have, the attacking players you have like to play quite narrow, enjoy that number 10 role, the likes of Ali, Ericsson, Lamela. He'll give you natural width, and that will stretch most defences. Raw pace, and actually very strong for a winger, able to kind of use his body to his benefit to hold off most fullbacks, go past people. He's crossing, he's kind of all-round kind of knowledge of the game has improved as well this season. He's become more clinical towards the back end of last season and the start of this season. So yeah, if Palace go down, especially with the injuries we've got at the moment, then I can see Spurs being a likely destination should they have to sell Wilf in the summer. And I think under Pochettino, the way he's developed young players currently at Spurs, you've seen Ali come through, likes of Winks, etc. It strikes me as someone that's very good man management, knows how to nurture young potential. It would probably be the ideal place for him to go should the unthinkable happen for Palace fans. Obviously on the other wing we've got Andros Townsend, former Spurs player, and he's definitely had a mixed start to his Palace career. Started with a good goal against Stoke last season and then kind of completely went off the boil. But kind of under Allardyce, definitely rejuvenated himself. His work ethic back in the last season and definitely this season has improved to become more of a team player. Defensively now tracking back, getting stuck in. And that's what Palace fans really want from their players, is that energy and effort to, when things are going wrong or things are back against the wall, the players are going to dig themselves out of it. The frustration with Andros is, as I'm sure most Spurs fans will agree, is that, you know, for someone that's got that much ability, he loves to cut inside and take that shot that, you know, often gets blocked. We'd like to see him, you know, probably become more clinical, see some of those goals that he got for Newcastle during that, you know, very good 6-month spell when he left Spurs, and try to keep Newcastle up. And I think that's what Palace fans were expecting, you know, when we signed him, you know, 30-yard free kicks every week. But it's not come in to fruition, unfortunately. It's still a good team player. Still happy that he's playing for us. You know, he's provided assists for Benteke, provided assists for other players, works hard, chips in the occasional goal. I think that's just an area where, you know, even by his own admission, he wants to score more goals, and seeing other players chip in, I think there's a slight frustration there that he's not one of them. No question really now on his work ethic. He works very hard for the team and constantly tries to drive us forward. He's done well in the absence of Wilf, especially. Has tried to take the fact that he's going to probably be the main attacking threat throughout a game. And we can just hope that he can produce his best form against his old club tomorrow. So prediction for the game. It's going to be one of those, you know, Palace are kind of decimated through injury, not really sure who is going to be fit, what lineup we're going to put out. But we had that against Man City. We managed to get a draw against them, and we should have won if we'd scored the penalty. And that's that kind of backs against the wall approach that Palace often thrive on. Done very well at home, only kind of lost one in X amount of games against Arsenal, where actually from going 2-0 down to 3-1 down, getting back to 3-2 and looking like if the game had gone on for another 5-10 minutes, we probably could have salvaged something from it. It's going to take those sort of mentality and approaches to get anything against Tottenham. And I guess it depends as well what Tottenham team turns up. You know, we've seen the recent struggles against lower league sides in the Cup, but also how well they've played against some of the European giants. And every Palace fan is just hoping that it's going to be the team that played against Rochdale, or that sort of attitude towards the game, in order to give ourselves hope as we continue to fight. If the stars align, and we can keep it tight, especially for the first half, and the longer that we continue to frustrate, the hope is that hopefully we can nick something on the counter and probably salvage a draw. I think a draw would be an ideal point. Looking at the games coming forward, with, you know, United and Chelsea on the horizon, a point against Tottenham would do wonders for a team that is probably low on confidence given the amount of players that are out. It means that we can continue an impressive home run, continue to make Selhurst our fortress, and hopefully be the catalyst as we go into the last 10 games of the season, trying to stave off relegation.